hedging your stock portfolio with an Nifty future. I know few of them are already having a lot of good stock portfolio, and this is a basic method. It's not the only method that it's adjustable. This is a kind of rough and basic method, but it works. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. Legal disclaimer. So I'm not a financial advisor, or this is not advice to buy and hold. So this everything is presented in this webinar. It's only part of the education purpose only. Okay, so let's start with starting the first question: why we have to hedge? So everybody knows, right? Why we have to hedge. So it's a purpose of portfolio hedging is to curtail. Curtail means cut back, right? Cut back the potential losses. This safety also comes with price. Since hedging also limits the potential profits, every hedge has a cost. So investors should weigh the cost of the hedging against its benefits. What I mean is, obviously, whenever you try to hedge 100%, you will avoid or curtail the potential losses. But it also comes with the price. Okay. So that whatever, so even try to hedge it, you will be losing at least 2 to 3% or 5% of your portfolio value. Okay, that we have to spend. That is called the hedging cost. Without a hedging cost, nothing will be available in the market. There is no free lunch in the market, right? That everybody knows, right? So even you try to hedge, you have to pay for it. Okay, and the cost is involved. And the more volatile, the more you are going to pay for the hedging. Okay. That is the typical. When market is calm, the hedging prices or hedging methods are very, very cheap. When market is turmoil, and then hedging prices and everything will be expensive also. Okay. So that is how it typical. So people think that hedging will be cheaper, and there is a zero cost of hedging. I never heard about it anywhere else, but that is possible with only theory is possible, not by the practical manner. Okay. Let's move on to the slide. Is anyone understand what is a hedging, and it involves a cost and you have to pay for it, right? So you have to type, you have to be yes or no, so that I can go on next slide. I can present something. All right. So there are varieties of hedges. Delta hedge. The very first one, the very popular one is called delta hedging. Within the delta hedging, there is typically people talk about buying options, collar, and far future contract sell. This is how people typically try to hedge. And we at Ten Twister, we talk about more on the option profile system as a hedge. So we could involve a long straddle or YIT or platinum hedge. So there is a separate video in my YouTube channel. I talk about the varieties of hedge, but not in a detail. But I've explained the profile concept with the hedging methods. You can check out my YouTube channel on this. Okay. Then the next method of hedging is called beta hedging. So today's presentation is all about beta hedging. And there is another concept called geo hedging. This only can be done or who can do only with the FAAs or big hedge funds. So what they typically do, they long in India and they short in Brazil, something like that. So they correlate with the countries, and then they sell in one country, they long in other countries. So this is how they hedge it. And we have a choice of only, as a retail trader, we have a choice of only with the delta hedging or beta hedging. Only this is the way of hedging we have. Okay, delta hedging. This is, you can get it in a Google video, lot of things, and you can get this in my YouTube channel itself. I've explained the varieties of hedging method, but not in detail. Okay. And beta hedging is available. So once you've gone through this presentation, you know how to do a beta hedging. And geo hedging is something like we can't do that. Okay. So now you have understanding the varieties of hedging, right? Again, you have to be type something so that I can go on to next slide. All right. So there was a question earlier, and so asked when to hedge. Okay, typically when to hedge, if there is a war scenario, pandemic or epidemic, or economical instability. It could be a terrorist attack, or it could be the government failure, or something like that. Or you are a pro funda of technical or fundamental reason, or something that you think that it's not going to work out for next 2 years, or 1 year, or a couple of months short term, then you have to think about hedging. Okay, but the biggest one to the indicator is VIX is the indicator. When VIX is rising above uh, certain level, you will able to you have to try to hedge your portfolio. That's the best indicator. Okay, and it's also best practices. It is always to better to have some sort of hedges. Okay, so it's some sort of hedges means you don't have to have 100% hedges. You can have 50% hedge or 30% hedge. So don't have a naked positions. Okay, you long only portfolio, but keep at least 30%, 20% of hedge always, right? So this is how we have to hedges. So this the question to, people are asked when to hedges. This is a typical answer: war, pandemic, epidemic, or economical instability, terrorist attack, or you have a technical reasons or fundamental reason. There is no single answer when to hedge. Okay, and I would say suggest that watch out for VIX, and there are certain threshold. You put a Z score. Okay, when you put a Z score on the VIX. Okay, put a Z score. When touches of the Z score high level of VIX level indicator, then think of adjust. Think of hedging it. Do you know what is Z score, right? Okay, so just to Google it, Z score, and you will understand better. It's like finding the best area. It's like a band. So band within the like this is a VIX. Then it's a the moment it breaches the Z score level, then you may try to hedges of the VIX. Okay, I'll cover on different topic on different webinar on the Z score with VIX. Okay, later on. So that is idea. The very good indicator is when VIX is a perfect indicator. When VIX is breaches a certain threshold, then no, it's not nothing to do with the IVP. IVP is particular to certain stock. Okay, so we are talking about VIX Nifty. So our benchmark index is Nifty, right? No one deny that, right? The Nifty is our benchmark index, and Nifty is VIX is tracking only only Nifty, nothing else. So you put a Z-score or a kind of an indicator or something in the chart. Typically available, you download the VIX data from TradingView, and then plot it in Excel and create a Z-score. And whenever the Z-score values threshold is above, then you try to hedge. That could be the best indicator for you. Okay. So that is the answer. When to hedge? That's the right answer to ask, and this is a way to hedge. Okay. Other than that, the people will come up with a technical reason to elite wave, fifth wave is ending. People will come up with something like that. Our gone number is saying something. They will say, right? And something else will the people will say, and our economic instability, something else, or terrorist attack, or pandemic, or epidemic, or war scenario, kind of scenario. Then you better to hedge. Okay. It is also practiced that it is better to have some sort of hedge. Don't have a naked position. Keep some hedge. Always have some sort of hedges. Okay. So shall I move on next slide? Did I get the answer for when to hedge? So remember the Z score on the VIX Shall I move on next slide? All right. So what is a typical stock portfolio? I love to have this stocks portfolio at this kind of numbers. It's approximately 30, well, how much only? 30, 30, 40 lakhs of portfolios. So typically they will buy a stock and not exactly pertaining to the lot size of the future contract. They will buy whatever the amount they have, or they accumulate it. They have been accumulating over the period. For the simplicity, I have added 200,000 like that. It's a kind of round number. People can have a weird number of portfolio sizes and quantity also. Okay. So there's a roughly stock portfolio. There could be blue chip, there could be some other contract, but why this example? So shall I move on next slide? Example of portfolio. Shall I move on next slide? Yeah. Okay. So now let's move on to the topic of beta. Beta is a numeric value that measures the fluctuation of the stock to change the overall stock market. Okay. If Nifty is 1, it's always because the benchmark index is Nifty, and the Nifty beta is always 1. Okay. If Nifty beta is 1, then HDFC Bank 1 point moves, then HDFC Bank by theory, by practical, it is 0.85 times. Okay. So if this is 1 point move, then it is supposed to move 0.85 percentage. Okay. So this is something like Bajaj Finance is 1.38. Tata Motors is actually higher than the beta, 2.16. Okay, and this beta value also is slightly fluctuate, depends on the move. So because there are multiple ways we can add the beta, 5 years beta, or altogether historical beta. There are varieties of betas also available. So now you understand what is beta. Nifty is 1, then you need to check the beta of the stock that you are holding and what is the beta value. Say, is it 1.28 or 1. It's where you get the beta, I'll cover in the next slide. Okay. So this is where you can get the stock beta value. So typically you can calculate the using a formula with Excel, where with this website, where you can get the Excel formula, and then typically Excel sheet also, I guess. And then if you are not good at Excel and you don't want it to download and calculate everything, then you can get the online resource. So finance or Morningstar investing. So everywhere you can get it. Okay. So let me click this Morningstar and I'll show you. Wait, this is skip this ad. So type the Tata Motors. Okay. So click the NSE click the NSE. Okay. Ordinary shares limited class A Tata Motors TVR. Okay, here. In the code section, you will see that beta. So if you look at the Tata Motors in 5 years, its beta value is 1.9. Okay. There is a slight variation when compared to, because this guy is calculating last 5 years. There are some site calculates from the history of the entire stock. Okay, so that their value is slightly different. So last 5 years, if you calculate it, it will become this is the value. Okay, so you can also check from finance.iago the beta value of the stock. Okay, I think did I click Finance.iago? Why it is going again Morningstar? I don't know. Let's go to investing, whether it is coming or not. Yes, it's coming. Okay, so where you have to go to investing tools, stock screener, and then choose India and click India, and then go to volume and volatility and click the beta. Okay, so if you see that here, there is a option where you can enable the beta value, and then you will see that beta. So Tata Consultancy, Reliance Industry, you will see the beta. So viewer 15 is coming. How to calculate the entire portfolio beta? I have not completed my presentation. Just hold on, hold on. I'll cover that topic. Okay, good question. So this is the beta for the stock. So do you know now where to get the beta? So is it clear now where to get the beta of the stock? So either you can calculate from this link from the Excel and formulas, or you go to the online resources where you can find the beta of the stocks. Okay. Now we're going to apply this beta into our stock portfolio. Next questions, right? Let's start with this. It looks like complicated. It's not complicated. Say example, I have a HDFC Bank. This is not my current portfolio. I don't have any portfolio right now. I'm keeping everything in cash. After the financial, I'll go for a portfolio, right? Quantity is 200 and current, I think yesterday, Friday or Thursday, I took this price and I multiplied this, and this is my investment value, correct? And don't look at this area, only look at this area. Bajaj Finance, say example, I have a 200 quantity and say this is the current price, and if you multiply this, this is your investment value, am I right? And the Tata Motors is 500 quantity, and this is the price of closing, and then this is the amount. If you multiply this, this is the quantity. So overall, I have around 30 lakhs worth of example. This is 30 lakhs worth of the portfolio. Am I right? Now we have to calculate the beta for the portfolio, right? So if you look at this, this is a 2.92 lakhs, 600. How much for the overall portfolio? This is a 100% of portfolio, means how much this is. So which is going to be the exactly almost closer to 10%. So 10 lakhs, Bajaj Finance, the investment amount is 24,400 rupees. So how much within this portfolio value, which is going to be 34%. Like that, your individual investment, you need to calculate the portfolio percentage of individual stocks. This is your first way of calculating the individuals. Then next column, you go ahead and apply the beta value of individual stocks, say 0.85, 1.2828, which we have saw earlier in the website, right? 2.16, 1.59, like that you have to apply. Don't multiply directly with the because we are calculating at a portfolio beta level. So you need to calculate the weighted average. How do you calculate the weighted average? Because this is not your 100% portfolio. This is only 10% of the portfolio. So this values comes, we need to calculate the percentage of the portfolio, which is 10%, time to multiplies by the beta value. So you get 0.08. Okay. So this is 34% of your portfolio, and you calculate multiplies this to the beta value. Now you get the 0.47. So this is a 5% of the Tata Motors of my entire stock portfolio, and 5% times multiplies to 2.16. You get around close to 0.10. You get the idea how to calculate. This is a percentage of the portfolio multiplied the beta value. So you get the overall, and if you calculate the total, you get the 1.06. Remember, this is your portfolio beta. Okay, this is your portfolio beta. This is very important number. Make sure if Nifty moves 100 points, this will move 106. Okay, example is 106%. So you get the idea. Can we go on next slide? So now you know how to calculate the beta weighted average, portfolio weighted average, right? Portfolio beta. Let's move on to the next slide. So now, so earlier look at that. I forgot to mention this entire thing I learned from Mr. Vimal Kirti. So the credit goes to Mr. Vimal Kirti. Okay. So next one, hedging the value, total investment. So the total investment, how much we have invested? Around close to 29 lakhs 900. 29 lakhs 900, which is a 29 lakhs 97,700 rupees. That is a total investment. And what is the total weighted average? 1.06. So you need to multiply this to this, so that you have to hedge the value of 31 lakhs 75,083. Any doubt on this? This is your hedging value, not the portfolio value. Okay, this is your portfolio value, but you have to hedge based on this value because your beta is not 1. You can directly, equal amount you can hedge with the Nifty because your beta is more than the hedge, more than the Nifty. So you need to use this value, the portfolio beta, to hedge it. So this is your portfolio hedging value. Okay. Shall I move on to the next slide? So now we have calculated the hedging value. Now we have to move on to the next slide for the calculations. Shall I move on to the next slide? Okay. So now let's drill down to the small calculations. So currently Nifty, I think Friday or Thursday I took this. Thursday I took this. It's a 14,325 and the lot size of the Nifty is 75. So when you multiply 14,325 times 75, so you get the worth of 10,74,375. Okay, so what is our hedging value? That's previous slide we have calculated. This is our hedging value. So we need to calculate how many lot of Nifty we have to hedge it. So Nifty lot calculation 31,75,093 divided by the Nifty value of one lot, so that we get around 2.96. So that I'll round it off, make it to 3. So we don't have a 2.96 lot, right? So we have 3 or 4 or 2. So if you do it 2, it will be a under hedge. If you do it as a 4, it will be over hedge. So approximate round number, this will become a 3. Okay. Is that clear, guys? So we calculated first the portfolio value, investment value. From the investment value, we calculated the individual percentage of investment. After that, we added a beta value of individual stocks. Then we calculated the weighted average from the portfolio percentage multiplies by the beta. Now we have the overall portfolio beta. Within the portfolio beta times multiplies times the overall portfolio value. So we get the hedging value. This is the hedging value. So now Nifty we have to divide it by the Nifty lots so that we get the number of lots to be hedged. So now we have a exact calculations. If I use the 3 lot as a short, so I can pretty much 100% of hedge of my portfolio. Am I right? Is there any doubt so far? Clear. Okay, let's do the scenario. It's pretty simple. Now, say example, April. Consider April is starting, and April is 14,325. Nifty is, and April is fall is around 1,200 points. Example, 1,200 points. Okay, and this is the value after 1,200. You get it. You get it around 13,125. The fall of 1,200 points. Nifty previous value was how much? 14,325 multiplies by 3 lot, right? Which is going to be the 225. So this is the value you sold. Okay, and Nifty current value. So after minus of the 1,200 points, so this is the value, and 225. This is the value currently. So the 8% of fall. So you made a profit on 2,70,000 rupees on Nifty while shorting the Nifty 3 lot. Did I get any doubt on this Nifty future return? Is there any doubt? So at the beginning of the, say example, at the beginning, I'll repeat again. At the beginning of the April, maybe 14,325, and April end or May, something like April end, maybe before the end, 13,125. So the 14,325, the 3 lot you sold, which is this is the market value at that time you sold, and the market current value after 12. Should we take Nifty value or future value for calculation? You have to take it as a future value, not a spot, because you are shorting the future, not the spot. Okay, Nifty fall 8% and you made a profit of 2,70,000. Okay, is that clear for so far Nifty return? Now let's go back to market is fall, right? Look at the market is fall. Okay, stock portfolio return. How do we know that exactly how much fall? We don't know. So that there is a formula to calculate the theoretical value of how much could have been fall. But it's not exact rocket science that we will get exact number. There will be slight variations. That is always there. But this is roughly the fall. Okay, the portfolio of April before the fall. Before the fall, April is 29 lakhs 97,700 rupees. Then there is a calculation. So we have a beta weighted average, which is a 1.06, right? 1.06, and Nifty of fall percentage, which is a 8%, right? So you multiply this to approximately 9.06%. Am I right? So this is a beta value, and this is a Nifty fall. So if you multiply that, you get a 9.06, which is approximately 9%. So if you minus off from the 9.06 value of your portfolio, which is going to be the 27 lakhs 31,724, and your portfolio loss will be 22 lakhs 65,000 rupees, and then here you have a loss of, profit of 2,70,000 rupees. Net nil. So you have hedged 100%. Slightly variation of plus or slightly variation of minus will be there because it's a theoretical calculations. In real time, slightly variation will be there for it. Sure. Okay. Is that clear now so far? This calculations. That's all. You are done almost. So the finding the beta portfolio weighted beta average is very important. So everywhere we are using these calculations. Okay. Now let's move on to the next slide. So after your hedging, market went up. So that is what happens, right? Whenever we try, we're thinking that market will fall, and then right after we are doing the hedging, market will go up, right? How many of them have felt? Okay. So Nifty return again. Say example 14,325 April beginning, and then another 1,200 points up. Okay, example the extreme move. And what happened to this 14,325 multiplied by 3 lot? So you have your initial value was 31,755, 75,000. Nifty current value is 15,525 times 225 quantity, which is going to be 34 lakhs 93,125. So 8% surge up. Okay. So you have a net loss on Nifty, which is going to be the 2,70,000. But on the other side, portfolio of April. So the beginning of this is we started with the 29 lakhs 97,000. So beta weighted average multiplies by the Nifty fall. So this is because we have a more than 1.06 is our portfolio beta, and portfolio surge is 9%. So the current portfolio with 9% above this, it's going to be the 32 lakh 63,000. Here you made this is not a loss; it's actually profit. Okay, spelling mistake. This is not a profit. This is a loss. So yeah, so this is a loss and this is a profit. Okay. So overall, this is also net to net zero because we did a 100% hedging. There is a concept of over hedging, under hedging. Let's go on to the next slide. So far is clear. So credit goes to Mr. Vimal Kirti, where I learned this concept. Shall I go on next slide? Okay. Okay, so hedging percentage. This is something like person to person vary. Okay. So we cannot say anything on we have to hedge 100% because it comes with the prices. Hedging 100% is also called as equal hedging. There is if you do a hedging on lesser than 100%, it's called under hedging. If you do more than hedging 100%, then it's called over hedging. Over hedging people, only dumb people will do. Equal hedging is smart, and under hedging is always necessary. Okay. But if you do a equal hedging every time, you won't have any return. You will be paying to the market. If you do under hedging rest of the time, you only do the UQL hedging whenever necessary, then it's a smart way to do it. Okay. Isn't that clear so far? Okay. Next, look at the cost involved. Okay, so you have to pay a 3 lot for future margin. Okay, so future margin is something like 3 lot. Say example, roughly 1.5 lakhs or 1.75 lakhs. I think is a margin, I guess. So multiplies by 3. This is a margin you have to pay for the Nifty, and then there will be whenever news Nifty future, whenever you're doing a far month or current month, there will be sometime will be expensive, more expensive, at least 50 points expensive, or sometime 50 points discount. We don't know. So if you do everything in as an expensive manner, it will be little losses. If you do it discount manner, it will be slightly profitable. Okay. So that will be a costing, right? 30%, 30%, 30 point or 20 points or something like something possibility have a difference between spot and future that you have to think about it as expenses. Then you have to hedge it for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, continue manner. You have to pay for the contract rollover charges. When you roll over, there will be charges involved. Then obviously you'll be paying for the 3 lot of additional margin brokerage cost. So these are the typical charges. So someone asked, who asked? Someone asked, can we do with the option instead of future? I mean, buying put options. Buying put option in current month, 100% will be evaporated. Okay. Why we are doing with the future? Because the future contract still there. It won't evaporate like options. So that is also part of the delta hedging, where we will be studying when we do the delta hedging separately. Okay, not in this presentation. So that's all, guys. Is it better to hedge with the far month or quarter end future? Better to hedge with the current month itself or next month future. Don't go too far, because you'll be paying very expensive on the value. What else? So now you can ask the questions. So we're almost end of the session. I think that's all. So we are done for the presentation within 30 minutes. Sweet time. So did you understand so far how to decide the percentage of hedging? That's what I explained it. So always hedge slightly under a hedge. That is good for it because you'll be paying less than that. 60% that everything is subjective. Okay. And then whenever you do the 100% hedge, when there is an event happens, you predicted that something is going to happen, or something is indicating that it's going to happen, then you do the 100% hedging. Okay. Some more input on G score on OFX. Okay, I'll cover in next session then. Okay. Anything else? So see, so presentation wise, that's all. Okay, but if you do it as a spreadsheet, this is actually, let me bring the spreadsheet. Okay. Do you see the spreadsheet here? So I made it everything in a single spreadsheet, and if you look at the 200 quantity, wherever the gray area, you have to fill it. Okay, the rest of the areas will automatically calculate. Say example, current value. I've changed that to 1200 points, right? I'll change it to 1600 points fall. Okay. What happens? So this is the loss, and this is the profit in the. This is a loss, and this is a profit fall in the Nifty, profit in the Nifty, and this is a fall in the portfolio. Again, the person is asking how to calculate beta of portfolio. So you need to check the recording again. Okay, so I've already explained it. This is how we have to calculate the beta. Viewer 32, what is your name? I see only as a viewer 32. Okay. So don't worry. So this will the entire presentation will be shared later on. Recordings will be shared, and I'll also share this spreadsheet. Okay. Depends on people requested. Then I'll share it. Share it. Also, I'll upload this in my YouTube channel so that everyone can be benefited. This is a very basic hedging. They don't take it as a rocket science. Nothing else here. And taking this, the values are not perfect because the beta value site to site will itself vary. So because 5-year beta, 3-year beta, if you calculate, it will be different. And then the lifespan of the stock beta will be totally different. Okay. So you take it, whatever appropriate to you to take the beta value, you take it, and then based on that you calculate it as weighted beta. From there you'll be having edging values. This you have to fill it because the gray area. Only the gray areas you have to fill it. The rest of them will be automatically calculated. This is how I've prepared my spreadsheet. Okay. So you post whenever I share the YouTube, then you go ahead and check it out yourself. And then that's all. Anything else? Any other questions? Anything else? All right, no questions. Then thanks for joining the session, and I hope you enjoyed something, and see you on next webinar. Bye for now.